In this document, I will reveal the new simple automated and evergreen delegation system that we use to delegate 82% of our current business and to run it with 1 hour per day. As you can see in the first proof, the passivity of our company went from 0% to 82%. In the proof 2, you can see that we went from 111 hours of delegated work to 1,592 hours of delegated work, so 14 times the amount of delegation. And in the proof 3, you can see that the owner went from working 5.5 working hours to 1 hour per day to run the current business as it was. Same business with the same results or even more growth. And this delegation framework is called From Solopreneurs to Freedom. And as you can see in this picture, you can see that is made of 3 parts: delegation, diagnosis, planning, and implementation loop with in total 11 simple steps. We'll explain these in details more in this video, so stay to watch till the end. And as we all know, delegation is inevitable, and this delegation framework is the massive profitable evolution of implementing delegation in every small business, because people usually delegate in the wrong way. This framework helps to delegate the company and delegate it faster with more profit, efficiently and long term, to set up evergreen business structure, so to focus on growing the company or enjoy free time. Delegation is very important for your family because you can have more free time also for your friends, for your hobbies, for your happiness. And you can use your free time to improve your business, improve the competitive advantage, or improve the profitability of your products or your services. This leads to more growth, more long-term profit, more free time, and less stress. And it can be easily installed in as little as 3 months with as little as 1 hour per day. In this other picture, you can see 9 steps of the delegation flow to implement the delegation profitably in your company. We will explain this in detail more in this video. And this is another view of the framework implementation process. We explain it later in this video, so stay here. And the best part is that you can use this framework long-term, repeat it in years to come, to delegate every new past or future process. So once you learn these skills, you will be able to delegate in this way, implement this delegation over and over and over for years to come, for 10, 20, 30 years in all your future small businesses when you start them. My name is Pietro Mappers from Success Mappers. You might recognize my name because I create videos about delegation and optimal management for solopreneurs and small business owners. We share the new best delegation and management tutorials for solopreneurs to help them to run their business more profitably, with free time and faster profit and growth. Everything we teach and coach is around delegating work with minimum effort. So to, as soon as possible, 10x your business results. The transformation that we want to give to our viewers and clients is to turn them from solopreneurs and beginners in delegation to real serious entrepreneur with people or systems working for them with an optimal business structure and optimally designed processes or SOPs. In our company, we were able to apply this strategy. We were able to free 82% of working time to run a business with 1 hour per day, from 5 to 5 hours to 1 hour per day, 14x the delegated work in 1 year, and delegate as much as 1,592 working hours, all in the first delegating year. So when we went from total beginners in delegation years ago to implementing delegation, we had this massive result in short time. And now with this framework, because we are optimized this framework after years of testing, we can skyrocket these results in as little as 3 months sometimes. The truth is that every solopreneur is hitting a time bottleneck. There is only so much time you have every day to do everything. Solopreneurs are overworked always, without time to focus on their growth. And this limits their happiness, profit, and revenue long-term, limits their success. And competition is never stopping. If you don't do this delegation correctly, the competition will do it and crush you. And in these days, competition arises so fast. If you don't grow the business, you will lose market share forever to your competition. Doing it all by yourself does not work anymore. It's the wrong way. If that's you, you are not a real entrepreneur, but an underpaid worker in your own company. I know it's harsh, but it's the truth. I know because I was making the same mistakes, and I see it over and over with our clients and solopreneurs around the world. And this also costed to me years of wasted profit and wasting business opportunities forever, wasting growth. This does work because you will never beat alone big companies with teams of 10 people. or even 5 people sometimes. An example that I love is Cristiano Ronaldo. He's a fabulous football player, but Cristiano Ronaldo, if he was alone in a team, doing all the roles in a football team, being the coach, the manager, the director, the goalkeeper, the chef, the mindset coach, the chief analyst, the scout, the kid manager, the one that is cleaning t-shirt, if he was alone, he would never beat any team of 11 soccer players plus all these roles. This is an example. You can be the best in your field, but if you do everything alone, you will never beat the company that has a team of 5, 10, or 20 people. You will never win, even if you are the best. And this is the old way to have a business versus the new way, the solopreneur delegation. As you can see, in the old way was the owner, the solopreneur is doing everything. The owner is doing all the departmental roles and all the generalist tasks. In the second picture on the right, you can see the transformation. The owner is a small circle, is the small green circle, and all the department roles and generalist tasks have been delegated to other roles. As you can see, there is 5 department roles and 11 generalist task roles. This is the form of delegation. This doesn't mean that you need to have 4 specialists and 11 generalist task assistants. Maybe you can delegate all these to 1 or 2 people. But this is the point. The owner is giving away all the work and doing the minimal things, so that in that way, the owner can focus on other more important things, like making the company growth and making the company make more profit. Doing all by yourself forces you to sacrifice an important part of the company. This creates a bottleneck for the long-term growth. Think about how much bigger your business would be if you had 5 people helping you. If you're stuck doing low-value activities worth $9 per hour, you're not able to focus on $9,999 per hour activities. There are these kind of activities. As you can see in this graphic, there are some activities that are worth $9,000 per hour. There are some activities worth $9 per hour. You need to focus up there in the $9,000 per hour activities. This is the difference between a 5-figure business and a 8-figures one. All the owners of 8-figures businesses are focusing up there in the $9,000 per hour, or even $10,000 or $100,000 per hour activities. In short, fewer low-value activities equals more high-value activities that you can do, and therefore the value of the company can 100x or 1000x per hour. Every owner has 24 hours in the day. So 1000x value per hour will directly create a long-term profit of 100x. This is poor mathematics. And every successful company confirms it. No big company is a solopreneur company. Even Cristiano Ronaldo, if you see him as a solopreneur company, actually he's not. He has delegated a lot of roles around. He has an agent, he has a social media manager, he has like a PR management team, he has someone that manages home, someone that manages cars maybe. This is the same that you need to do. You need to transform from a solopreneur to a small business owner. To grow big, you need to delegate big. And this is poor mathematics. The solution isn't child delegation or delegating task by task or micromanagement or inefficient delegation. These are mistakes that all the solopreneurs, small business owners are doing. But also it's not an expensive and hard delegation either. If done correctly, delegation can be simple, scalable, and very effective. The solution that we found is our delegation framework. From Solopreneur to Freedom is the name, and this framework helps you to do correctly delegate big with the minimum effort. It's the new way to delegate. It's for solopreneurs, small business owners, or self-employed people, and this solves the main solopreneur problem, that is being overworked and being stuck in the low value activities. And this delegation framework helps them get away from this trap and set up a company that can give free time and massive long-term growth in profit and revenue. Since using this framework, we delegated 82% of the company, delegating 1,592 hours of owner working time in just only 1 year to run the business with 1 hour per day. You can see again the proof here. The framework systematically frees working time, but we are free to focus on high-value activity. Do you think that this would skyrocket the growth long-term of your company? And also, if you want to improve how you find clients, if you want to improve your sales process, your marketing, your delivering process, your business operations, you cannot improve these things if you don't have time to work on them. And that's the point. Anything you want to do, you need the time. Delegation can give you this time. And if you delegate correctly, it will be cheaper for you. You will delegate quickly and faster, easily, with minimum experience. Let me show you now how it works. You can see the wrong way to be a business owner. This is the old way where you do everything by yourself. The owner is doing all the green dot, doing department roles and generalist tasks, as I explained you before. And the problem here is having no time. You cannot scale in this way. You can't focus on being the owner. You are sacrificing the growth, the money, the profit, the happiness. Now compare it to the right way to delegate a business. That is the direct result of our delegation framework. And this is the biggest missing structure that solopreneurs and small business owners miss. This again is the transformation. As you can see, the owner is working minimum time. That's why you are delegated 82% of your working time. You're basically doing 18% now in the second picture on the right. And all the roles and the work is given away. The owner keeps doing the most important thing or the thing that he prefers. But how can you do it? And here is the graphical representation of our implementation process taken from Solopreneur to Freedom. That is the delegation framework that we use. There is a lot of tools in our framework, but these are the implementation steps. As you can see, there is the delegation diagnosis, where we define the current organizational structure, the current delegation structure, because delegation has a specific structure. We define the problem list. Then in the planning phase, we prioritize the problem. We match the problems with our delegation framework solutions that is made of a lot of processes, tools, assets, templates, and we kill every problem one by one later in the implementation loop. So the step 7 is plan the solving path. So we have a plan, we plan together, we plan step by step what you need to do. In the implementation loop, we implement the tools of the framework one by one to solve every problem. We solidify the delegation that we implemented, and you let go all the work of your company. And you will repeat afterward on every step. Most people delegate wrong because they add or remove steps from this flow. They make it often too complex because the programs and courses around are not built exactly for this solution. Our delegation framework is basically a streamlined, efficient, and simple process to delegate. It's the easiest, fastest, and most profitable way we found to delegate a company. This will be the flow you will follow with the delegation framework. For example, the first step of this sequence is learning how to task clustering. You take every single task that you do, the simple and basic ones, and you delegate in an efficient way. So adding a flow or clustering by topic, projects, roles, departments. In this way, you will be able to task cluster and delegate efficiently. Another important step that makes a difference is the delegation diagnosis that I showed you before. This is define exactly your situation and what is missing from the optimal delegation for solopreneurs. Here is where is required experience and skills that you have after years of implementing delegation in companies. Here is where experience matters a lot. And then in the step 5 and 6, you are planning and prioritizing the solution, and you are matching the framework with the problems. And most people miss this step that I'm showing you here. They make it wrong, they make them wrong, or sometimes they totally jump ahead without these steps. So delegation takes years instead of months. And if you miss these steps, you also waste massive amounts of money. And to make this framework even more powerful, there is a full suite of tools, templates, and processes that the framework has. As you can see, there is mapping in 60, the levels of delegation, the evolution of delegation structure, and the KPI metrics tree. There is a lot of processes that I cannot show you here because there is so much information about this stuff that we implement. But there is a lot of tools that we implement for every different problem and many, many more. This is why the framework is so powerful. These are things that beginners in delegation can't unfortunately discover alone. I will explain more of this later in this video, but by now you know the power of this framework and why it's so efficient at delegating and freeing your time while your business grows. And that's why today we are offering now to you to implement this entire delegation framework in your business with our expert help. If you have already heard enough and want to take this opportunity, you must need to go to this link to know more, or the link in the description. In that link, you will be able to book a meeting with us to see if we can really help. Otherwise, continue to read and watch this video. Watch this video or read this document if you have the PDF. To learn more about this framework, this video and PDF will maybe stay online for long, but we have always a limited number of spots. So if you're serious about delegating your company and you don't want to miss the opportunity of the help with us, book a call right now. Otherwise, keep watching. It's a win-win for you because if you will not be able to work with you, we will suggest you solutions that you can do by yourself. I explain now in this video why this framework is so powerful for your growth, and it is the most effective and efficient delegating framework for solopreneurs, small business owners, and beginners in delegation. It delegates and automates what is already going on in your company. And let's face it, there are processes in your company that you are doing over and over again that are very boring and tiring, but they waste so much time. You're wasting time that you could invest in other more important activities. Why you make this mistake of not delegating? Your competition is delegating those same tasks and therefore having free time to focus on more important things, and therefore growing faster than you. Every day you miss to delegate, you are increasing the risk of losing market share. And when you realize it, is too late. But you know that in few days, you could be the process to delegate the same time-wasting activities for years to come. And what if that process turns into an asset that works without you? Assets that make passive income for you. You set them up and forget about those processes because they work automatically. And our delegation framework is exactly created for that, to detect these processes and to delegate as fast and easy as possible. We select, we prioritize and package processes in evergreen processes to delegate them profitably. There are thousands of processes that are easy to delegate at low cost, but of course you need to know how. Our framework from solopreneur to freedom is the long-term solution for that. To go to the next step with your business, you need to master a few key points. To master something, as Malcolm Gladwell, basically it is a 10,000 hour rule that says that to master something you need to do is something for 10,000 hours. But if you don't delegate, you will never be able to have those 10,000 hours. So you will not be able to master something. You will never be able to be the Cristiano Ronaldo or the Leo Messi of your field. Or maybe this will take a longer time, like 5 years, 10 years, 20 years to achieve this mastering. But we want to get it as fast as possible. And this is why delegation is so powerful. It allows you to use your full energy and attention on important things. Delegation is the secret unknown pathway to mastery. And as always, business opportunities in these years pass away too fast. If you don't take them now, you will miss them forever. You need to get them as soon as possible and master what really matters. And after mastering those activities, you can delegate those mastered activities and master other activities afterward. This is the way how you grow. And this continuously mastering different activities and delegate, master and delegate, master and delegate, master and delegate, exponentially skyrocket your long-term success. Delegation creates this compound effect because delegation processes become assets that compound over time. As you can see in this graphic, with delegation, if you master and delegate, your growth will be much, much higher than without delegation. Because every time you master something and delegate it quickly, you will be able to go to the next phase of mastering and delegating faster. And you continue in this way, and delegation over delegation, all these results will compound over each other, and the results will skyrocket. Warren Buffett has this quote. There is about compound interest. The compounding effect is the same. Warren Buffett is talking about the interest. Warren Buffett is applying the compound effect to the interest. My wealth has come from a combination of living in America, some lucky genes, and compound interest. Because basically what he was doing is gaining 1, 2, 10% every year from every company he owned. And that 10% more compounded over time. Because you can use that 10% to buy more assets so that those assets make 10% more, and then you buy more assets, they make 10% more, you buy more assets, they make 10% more, and your results skyrocket long term. It's the same that you're doing with delegation. You delegate this small process, you gain like 2 hours per day, and then with those 2 hours per day, you can grow your company by 20%, and you continue this process till you find yourself with a 8-figure company. Albert Einstein said, compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it, earns it. He who doesn't, pays it. It's the same with the compound effect of delegation. If you understand the compound effect of delegation, you can massively profit from it. If you don't understand it, your competition will profit from it and crush you. Below 7 benefits of our framework. Benefit 1. You are much more profitable, even with the same profitability. Delegation will increase revenue and profit long term. There is no doubt about it. But whenever you delegate any task, something amazing happens. Removing low-task activities increases the average pay per hour of your work. And as you delegate more and more low-value activities, your value per hour increases without you doing anything. The pay per hour depends on the average pay and the hour worked. If you delegate 82% of your work, your time could be 3 times, 6 times, or even 10 times more than the previous value. This is something that happens magically when you delegate, because the point is not only making more money, but also making the most money with minimum effort and time of work, so that you can use that extra time to grow even more your business, or to relax or enjoy with your family. Here is a quick example of our framework. You can see, I cannot talk too much about it, but you can see that the owner went from 2,000 working hours per year to 365 hours per year. So from 5 to 5 hours per day to 1 hour per day. And that increased dramatically the value of work of the owner, that went from $12 per hour till $41 per hour with the same business, just reducing the working time of 82%. The owner was able to multiply by 3.3 times his work per hour. This is the benefit too. The framework is exactly designed for solopreneurs and small business owners. This framework is exactly designed for solopreneurs and small business owners without wasting time in complex big corporation techniques. In my business past, when I was stuck, when I was younger, years ago, when I was stuck in the solopreneur trap of doing all the work in my company, I studied multiple delegation management courses. However, I was never able to find the exact solution to my specific situation. This is because most courses are a mass product made for everyone and not specific for solopreneurs and beginners in delegation. Not everyone is an expert in business, finance, management, or operations. And a lot of solopreneurs are beginners in management. So those courses were too complex and unfocused. You waste so much time implementing things that you don't need, or implementing the wrong things. What is for you necessary to know if you're not an expert is different if you have a small business or if you are a solopreneur. What is needed for a big company is not needed if you are a solopreneur. And it can be instead a big problem, because it forces you to waste your time with things that you don't need, or waste your money or things that are not necessary. But of course, not knowing the topic, you are not able to select the exact steps that you need in your situation. So that's why we developed a delegation framework specifically for solopreneurs, small business owners, beginners in delegation. We selected the best only approach that shortcuts the results so that they can go to the next level as soon as possible without wasting time, effort, or money on useless things. And here we have also the benefit tree. This is the step-by-step process to delegate easily your company piece by piece. I shown you before the 9 steps flow to implement delegation. Delegation is a massive work. It can take a lifetime, and companies are built in hundreds of years, some are built in months. So what makes a difference? The order of the step is extremely important. Choosing the exact step at the right time makes you get to the results with minimum effort and time. But to choose the exact steps, the easiest and most powerful ones, you need to have experience to map the pathway to success. And to do this, you need to have some time, a guide. Otherwise, you will never be able to select the 1% of the steps. But to choose the exact easiest and best delegation steps, you need to have experience to map. You have to have a guidance or a coach to help you. Otherwise, you will never know of the 100 possible steps that you can do in every single moment. You'll never be able to choose the right one, the best one that gives you most results. And this is the reason why an expert coach is helping you with this. An expert coach or a framework that you can trust. The framework we developed solves exactly this problem. It's a simple map tested so that you can implement easily delegation in your company. We are experts that solve this problem over and over, and this framework is giving you the right step at the right time. The benefit of this framework is that it's made also for total beginners in delegation, because everyone starting delegation is a beginner in delegation. You could be the smartest, most expert person in your field, but if you never delegated, you are a beginner in delegation, and you need to admit this to yourself. There is nothing wrong about it, and there is nothing wrong with that. And you need also to be aware that you can get outside help, and that this outside help can drastically help you to get your results faster. You need to be honest with you and humble. So many solopreneurs find it extremely hard to admit this to themselves, trust others, and to get outside help. But this would make their success much faster and would totally be worth the time and investment in that help. Every top athlete or smart and successful entrepreneur has a coach or a mentor helping them get the expert knowledge and also shortcut the success that comes with that expert knowledge. Our delegation framework is basically a delegation coach for you. The benefit 5 is that this framework gives you quicker results with strategies, tools, processes like task clusterings, optimal setup and control for your business. That is a framework that we use. Mapping in 6D, the hiring funnel, the delegation packages, the info sheets, master sheets. There's a lot of processes that give you quick results. The framework has a lot of tricks and tools that help you to solve every problem. Implementing the delegation steps correctly in the right order can shortcut your success of year. In that way, you can get the business growth and the business profit fast. For example, we use the structure of delegation packages to delegate efficiently, or we use the info sheet, master sheet to order all your company simply and quickly. And we define all these processes after checking all the alternatives on the market. The alternatives on the market are not suited for solopreneurs, small business owners, and the beginners in delegation. That's why we developed this framework. The benefit 6 that you get with this framework is to stop wasting time, money, and business opportunity. Maybe this is the biggest one. If you watch this video till here, it means that you are probably aware of how big is this problem, not having delegation in your company, and how much this is limiting you. Time is money, and if you waste time, you lose business opportunities forever. Our delegation framework is the simplest, easiest way to delegate as much as possible, as soon as possible, so that you can focus on growing your business faster, gain market share, dominant market position in your market, so that competition cannot beat you anymore. If you get to those results quicker, you will also gain a profit faster. With free time, you can improve the competitive edge of your business, your competitive advantage, your product, your service, innovate, improve your business so much that you can get bigger and bigger. To master your business is your job as a owner. But so many solopreneurs forget that, and they don't allow themselves to master the business. If you don't gain free time, you don't have free time to do the owner job. Benefit 7 is the extreme flexibility so that you can avoid wasting time and you can do the right steps at the right time. This is one of the main differences between a mass course and a very niche program like ours. We help a few people with a specific solution, and part of the solution is a flexible approach. Markets in the 2020, 2030s are and will be changing so fast continuously. This is from when the internet came, and now that there is also artificial intelligence involved, there are so many changes in the market all the time. So winners need to act fast too. Our unique, powerful framework gives the flexibility to quickly solve these problems, one by one, each one with a specific situation. Fast delegation is a custom-made process. Solopreneurs have specific needs, and to solve problems in hours instead of months, you need a custom-made, flexible approach for each obstacle. But of course, it's not an easy process. That's why we created our delegation framework. But let me say this. Of course, if you're ready to jump on this one-of-a-kind opportunity, don't hesitate and book a call with our team now, here, in the link or below in the description. There is no risk in simply booking a call to see if you can work with us, to see if we can really help you with our framework. But if you have more questions, of course, keep watching this video. I will address now some concerns that you might have right now. Concern A: isn't it expensive with the framework to create processes, hire, onboard, and manage? This is the most efficient path for solopreneurs, small business owners, and beginners in delegation. Also, never forget the missed opportunity loss. If you are too slow to market and miss opportunities, you miss long-term profitability. If you arrive at a 7-figure revenue in 1 year instead of 5 years, you will have 4 years more of the profitability of the 7-figure business. So that's why speed in delegation and growth is so important. Every delay costs you potentially so much money. Another concern that you might have in your head is that no one is able to work as well as the owner in their own company. If you can't explain something to a 6 years old, you don't understand it yourself. This is an amazing quote. I don't know who said this, but the point I want to make it with this quote is that if the owner really mastered a job or role, he or she can explain and delegate that role to others. And this is also inevitable. You need to delegate what you master, and you can delegate efficiently and profitably so that you can master a higher value activity role. This will increase drastically the value of your company. You can't master everything, so you need to delegate mastery or simply delegate the repetitive tasks and roles. Another great skill is being humble enough to admit that there are people better than ourselves. Also have the courage to trust others doing important work. When you delegate, you need to trust them. This framework is helping you to do that. You need to be humble and trust so that you can teach efficiently and delegate efficiently. The margins of your company are maybe too small and the business is not super optimized yet. So do you really need delegation? This is a very typical question that we get. Let me say in this way, delegation brings free time. Free time is invested in increasing margin and improving the product and profitability. With free time, you will be able to optimize every part of your business. You must delegate before and after the business is optimized. Not only after, before to optimize it, and after to grow it and make it even better. The framework from Solopreneur to Freedom is the delegation framework that is helping you to do exactly that. Another concern is, shouldn't I focus on other important things like marketing, sales, business core, competitive advantage, main value generating mechanisms? As I said above in the previous concern, you can invest the game free time however you want. You can enjoy the free time, or you can improve your company so that you can improve your profitability from 10% to 20% to 30% maybe, right? Or you can improve the revenue. You can improve the size of your company from 6-figure to 7-figure. Delegation is giving you freedom to do what you need. Is it hard and complex to implement the delegation alone? With a step-by-step guide covering all the micro steps and baby steps of delegation, of implementing delegation, each step at the right time, no, it's not hard. But of course, if you get an small step wrong of the process, that could ruin all the end results. The framework is so powerful because every step matters. Every details matters a lot and has a big impact. So if you get them wrong, you lose a lot of money. Mistakes could add up quickly to cost, time loss, and a wasted effort. Why can't I research, study, implement all by myself with online free content from YouTube, Google, PDFs, books? It takes a lot of time. That's the main problem. And also a lot of information are not available online. And also another problem is sometimes delegation is not made for solopreneurs. Let me read the slide. We had to develop our framework because we could not find an exact solution for the specific problem. We could not find around online a delegation system suited for solopreneurs, business owners, and beginners in delegation. Most of the infos around is made for big or medium companies, not for solopreneurs. And that's the problem. The framework online on YouTube or Google is simply too much. A lot of work is not suited for the situation, and that ends up costing you money and time without a return. And that's also the reason why it costed us so much time to develop this framework. This took us years of studying and testing to define it well enough, also making it lean and as simple and easy to implement as possible. It's not easy, but it's the easiest and fastest way. First of all, I cannot stress this enough. There is not just one thing that makes the Solopreneur's Freedom framework powerful. It's not just about doing more work, doing faster. And it's not about delegating tasks, delegation processes, creating few processes and hiring a few people. It's a system fine-tuned to perfectly delegate with minimum effort for the long term. It's not a random machine. It's a fine-tuned, perfectly designed supercar engine. All the pieces work together harmoniously, and even a missing piece could destroy the full machine. This could easily take 3 to 5 years if you try to piece together this entire system on your own. Also, without knowing if what you're doing or if what you're building is really the right way. This framework took us years of trial and error to be optimized, and since we tested and improved this so many times, we can show you how to implement this in days, not years. Second of all, this is not a course. We are giving you a system that optimally delegates thousands of working hours with minimum waste of time, money, and effort. We will be guiding you step by step, answering questions, delivering assets, and optimizing your business. Our team of experts does most of the heavy lifting for you, building, structuring, and implementing the From Solopreneur to Freedom delegation framework to make it as easy and fast for you as possible. with minimum effort. This means you will not waste days of time watching courses or tutorials that you really don't need. Instead, you will focus on learning the minimum necessary and implementing it for quick results. This is the learning system the successful people use: learn by doing and just-in-time learning. And here, more details about our process. We went already in a bit of details describing how it works before, but we go more into it right now. So stay till at the end of the video to understand more about the framework. The step one is delegation diagnosis. In this step, we define the current delegation situation, what is delegation percentage, what is the organizational structure, what is delegation structure, and define a master problem list. This phase, we will define in details your exact situation, the problems that we want to solve. Step two is the planning of delegation. You will prioritize the problems and match the problems with the framework assets and tools. After matching, we plan the path ahead, how we can solve each problem with each framework tool. All the steps and baby steps will be defined so that we can get to the goal with maximum ease, motivation, and speed. And then there is this implementation loop. Here we take action and execute the baby step of the plan. Here we implement this from Solopreneur to Freedom powerful delegation framework. And the framework has a lot of exclusive processes, tools, templates, assets, and approaches. We don't have time to show everything here. But anyway, we implement all them to solve each problem one by one. Also, after solving the problems, we solidify the implementation so that delegation stays on forever. Or long term. Forever is a big term, but maybe for years you will have a process that is working automatically. Making you money automatically is incredible. The last step is letting go. You forget about that process. You delegate to someone, to a software, to an efficient process, whatever. And so you free yourself for years. And that's not all, because the framework moves quickly between the steps with flexibility. If necessary, you will repeat in loops these steps in some situation so that you can solve in multiple loops this problem, because sometimes the processes can be complex, but with a simple process you can solve them quickly so that you can improve and reinforce the processes over and over till you set them and solve them for long term. Flexibility is the key. Flexibility comes only from the experience in delegation that we put in this delegation framework. After we tested and implemented this framework for long years, after a lot of years, for a long time. Based on the service that we offer, we will have a coach following in every step with daily, weekly, or bi-weekly, or monthly, depending on the service that you need, with high quality support. And finally, to conclude, this means you will be basically partnering up with an expert company in delegation that can skyrocket your delegation in weeks, not years, and therefore help you potentially to grow 10 times faster in business. And everything I mentioned in this document, in this PDF, in these slides, just a fraction of all the flexible and valuable help that you get with this kind of services. We will be a virtual partner where our success is your success. And now imagine this scenario. You are overworked and stressed. Maybe it's your case right now. You know exactly what would make your company grow 300% in 1 month. Maybe you have an idea, you have a plan, you know that you could do, but you are too busy to do that. And also you have a family that needs attention. You have a daughter, a son, your wife, your husband. And you don't want to ignore your friends and ruin your long-term fulfilling relationships with your family or friends or your network maybe. But also you want to stay healthy and exercise. You want to reduce your stress, sleep more, enjoy a vacation. But you cannot do all this alone. It's impossible. You can simply contact us or have a call with us so that in a few minutes we can find the exact best steps for you so that you can take right now 2 steps and solve the delegation problem. Maybe you will be able to delegate 10 hours per week quickly with our help. In that way, you will be able to enjoy 1 or 2 days free more to stay with your family. And after every session, you will be able to delegate more and more and more. And after maybe 12 weeks of working your delegation out, you'll be able to work maybe 40% less, or 60 or 80% less. How much would this be worth for you? That's the question you need to ask. But there is a catch. This video will probably stay online for long, but we have always a limited capability because it is a complex service that we are delivering. Because this kind of service takes maximum effort from us to solve out for you. Also, we work only with highly motivated solopreneur or small business owners who truly take the business growth and the delegation seriously. So if that's not you, please don't book any meeting. I ask you, please do not book. But if this is exactly your situation and you're really highly motivated, I invite you to book below and quickly the call so that you can we can implement this framework in your company so that you can turn from a beginner in delegation or a solopreneur or a medium level delegator to a real entrepreneur that can delegate hours of work away so that the company that you own can work while you sleep. When booking the call, you will need to answer a few business questions in the booking page so that we can prepare to truly help you on the call. If you are really tired of being busy, book a call and we will guide you to solve this problem together so that you can stop being overworked, stressed, and without free time. You can relax more, sleep more, improve your business. So if this is the case, you're highly motivated, please click on the document if you have the PDF or go in the description below and click the links below and book a call right now. We truly have a limited amount of available spots, but we really want to help the right people. Book the call if this is your situation so that we can go more in depth and plan together a solution that can make you more money or more free time long term. You will see how delegation would look your company today. Link below and see you in the call.